they submitted their deck list. Jose submitted his deck list on like Tuesday. He was ready to go, man. He was confident in this deck. He knew what he wanted to play and didn't make changes and submitted Tuesday at 10 o'clock p.m. He was ready
That's
to
great
go.
data. Great call. I think what's interesting about Grant's list is he's running 3 Volkner and 1 Stevens Resolve. I know in our testing, Volkner's absolutely fire in these Vikavolt decks because it'll let you grab the rare candy or grab a ball piece.
Yeah, you definitely want to be able to get those pieces, and that's why it's so important on usually the second turn of the game. And Grant's already got a good start here. He's got a Tapu Bulu in his active spot, and he got a Nest Ball for Grubbin. The main thing that these Vikavolt decks want on their turn 1 is a Nest Ball to come down.
Yeah, but that's it's the Skyla of the present format.
Sure, yeah.
And in that way, these rare candy decks love it.
So it looks like Grant has an Ultra Ball here, looking like he wants to get something else. Looks like there's a 2 Vikavolts in his hand, it looks like.
If you're him, would you Stevens Resolve here?
Yeah, it might be what he is eyeing up. Jose does play the Marshadow from Shining Legends, so he'll have that option to disrupt Grant. So maybe knowing that, Grant might opt for something like a Lily here, which looks like that is what he's going to eye up instead.
Yeah. He wants to push a little harder this turn instead of just grabbing all the pieces he needs.
And either way, like Jose will likely use Marshadow on this next turn because Grant will still have a reasonably large hand. If Jose can keep Grant from getting that turn 2 Vikavolt,
right.
that would be very strong. So by going for the Lily here, you can ensure that you get more value out of this turn specifically. Like for example, finding another Nest Ball, getting a second Grubbin
out,
or even a Rangaroo. So that can actually be good if he does get Marshadow to a low hand size. He can play his hand out and then instruct out of it. So smart play from Grant setting that up.
Yeah, I mean, Jose is playing, I think, probably the purest Rayquaza list we've seen on stream, right?
Sure.
He's playing the 3/3 Vikavolt, 4 Rayquazas, and then he has 2 Delmice to deal with the Shrine decks, and then the Marshadow. So he's going to be looking early on to just like Marshadow, Tempest GX, let's go, right?
Yeah, and that's one of the things that's so strong about Rayquaza Vikavolt over Bulu Vikavolt is going second. You really, I mean, sure, it's worse to go second, but you can have that option to use Marshadow and then go Tempest GX on your first turn of the game to give yourself a 10-card hand and your opponent just a 4-card hand. He'd only be able to pull that off. He does only play 1 copy of Switch, so he'd need to find that in order to move this Grubbin. Could like Guzma or something like that, I guess. But it looks like he's going to Ultra Ball away a Grass Energy, and it looks like he's debating getting rid of a Cynthia here as well.
Yeah, so here he's going to Rayquaza and Stormy Winds, right?
He
discarded the energy.
Yeah,
I assume he's going to take advantage of the fact that he discarded the energy off the Ultra Ball.
And it's kind of a catch-22 with this Rayquaza Vikavolt deck. There's so many important pieces whenever you're using Stormy Winds that you could mill away that would definitely be detrimental, like rare candies and Vikavolts and things like that. Usually what I've liked to see from players is early Stormy Winds in their early turns, but later on you just bench the Rayquaza not using the Stormy Winds ability. But I would definitely expect to see it here.
Yeah, so if you're Grant, are we going to see the Shining Lugia and Delmize do their thing at all here, or is he just going to push with the Vikabulus to take knockout?
I think Bulu's certainly his preferred attacker, but he does. I mean, he has 3 copies of it. It's easier for Jose to stream the knockouts, though, is the thing. It's easier for Jose to take knockouts on Bulu's because he keeps his energy in play. Grant has to discard energy every single turn. He has to draw a replacement grass energy plus strong charge once again. So there's a lot of moving pieces in Grant's deck. So it's difficult for him to utilize those single prize attackers. But with that choice band already on Grant's Grubbin, I think he's going to try to attack with Vikavolt at some point, which is a good way to get an advantage against Rayquaza.
Right. Trade a little bit there.
Mm-hmm. So Lily drawing 6 cards off the top for Jose. Looks like he has another Grubbin in his hand. Actually, that might be the Delmize. Looks like he's just going to be content passing here, though. Grant top decks the Delmize. He does have Volkner plus Vikavolt in his hand. We're going to see a turn 2 Rare Candy Vikavolt. Leaves the Lightning Energy in the deck. Grant's deck does only play 5 Lightning Energy compared to the Vikavolt Rayquaza decks that play 7. So he wants to make sure he has access to them in the deck so that he can strong charge them. So I think we'll see him, he'll knock out Grubbin here. He'll be able to attach an energy to the Vikavolt on the bench so that if Jose is able to respond, Grant has a potential response in Vikavolt.
That attachment is nice to the
Yep.
Vikavolt because it's going to allow him to attack with Vikavolt right away if you choose.
See Rayquaza come up for Jose. That is a good sign. He has a large hand. We'll see if he can find Rare Candy plus Vikavolt. I definitely see an Ultra Ball in there.
Yeah.
Volkner can find the
he's
Rare
got the
Candy.
Volkner. Here we go.
So we'll see him grab Rare Candy. This will get his Vikavolt, his Stage 2 in play, skipping Charger Bug completely. These lists don't even play Charger Bug. Most Vikavolt lists, like for as long as the card has been competitively viable, have just chosen to exclude Charger Bug almost completely. Just really valuing getting that turn 2 Vikavolt and nothing else.
Yeah, and I think what we've seen, I talked a second ago about how we're seeing Volkner counts increase. Like, I think the lists we saw a week or two ago were like 1 Volkner, 2 Volkners. Now, both these guys are playing 3. They recognize, I mean, getting that turn 2 Vikavolt out is the road to success here.
Absolutely. Candy Vikavolt, attachment to the active. We'll see a strong charge, probably putting a grass or a lightning on the active and the other one on the bench.
He needs a choice band still, right?
He does. He
or
is
a
just short right
Rayquaza and
now.
a Stormy Winds
Yep.
to get another energy on. He's got a lot of ways to find this energy.
One more energy to get the KO. If he didn't get the KO and Grant could find a
He's
choice
got the
band.
choice
Oh,
band.
there it is. Never mind.
Yeah.
Just what he needed to see. But Grant now is going to need to find an energy card in order to be able to strong charge and take a knockout with his Vikavolt. And also needs a replacement grub, and Grant's kind of on the back foot here. I do see a Volkner, so that can find him the lightning energy he needs, as well as a Nest Ball to get out the other Grubbin. He has played a few Nest Ball, but he does play the full 4, so he should have access to it.
Yeah.
Looks like we'll see, well, debating it. Looks like it's going to be Volkner right away. And he does have 2 lightnings in the deck, so he can grab one with the Volkner, and then he still has access to the other one via strong charge. Looks like he is eyeing up that Nest Ball. He has an Ultra Ball in his hand, so he could actually, like, Ultra Ball away the Nest Ball instead of just outright playing the Nest Ball to thin his hand down for Instruct. But no, he's going to go ahead and use the Nest Ball. Maybe he has other cards he can discard with the Ultra Ball to Instruct this turn. Strong Charge will put 2 energy on the active. 1 more energy will let Electro Cannon hit 180 damage thanks to Choice Band, knocking out Rayquaza GX. Ooh, 2 Guzmas hit the discard.
Yeah. He's obviously anticipating just trading attackers.
Yeah, I mean, and this is the thing, though. He's going to need, on his next turn, if Jose can respond to this Vikavolt, Grant will need a lot on his follow-up turn, so...
Yeah, I mean, well, Jose's going to need another Rayquaza, because he's going to have 2 energies on the board after this knockout. He's going to be able to strong charge 2 more energies on the board. If he's got an energy in hand, he's fine.
Yep,
right?
yeah, he needs 5 energy in
He'll
play to
be
hit
fine.
150. Grant shuffles 4 energy back in with Energy Recycler. Yeah, those Energy Recyclers, they're so crucial for the Rayquaza Vikavolt deck, but it feels even more crucial for the Bulu deck because you play less energy cards and you're continually discarding them with your attackers.
Right.
So Grant will take the prize advantage here, going down to just 3 left, Jose at 4. But Jose, like we said, just needs 1 energy card, and he's already got it in his hand. He has a Rescue Stretcher as well, so he could get Rayquaza back.
Right. I assume he's going to Rescue Stretcher because he's got to start getting another attacker.
Sure. It'll be interesting to see if he uses Stormy Winds here. I think he won't. No, he's going to. Discards a Guzma, but other than that, I think he doesn't really mind the energy in the Lele too much.
Looks at the distribution of energy in his discard and picks the grass.
Sure.
He has an equal split of energy, so not too worried as long as the split's pretty close.
Yeah, counting his energy in the discard. It looks like he's got 4 down there now. Maybe he has a recycler
2 grass,
in
2
hand.
lightning. He's going to recycle it all.
Not full value out of the recycler, but still, you know, at just 2 prizes at just 4 prizes remaining with 2 prizes taken, I think he's okay to go ahead and do that. And strong charge. Haven't seen a supporter yet. Still looks like it's going to be a Cynthia. This is a really, man, what a consistent setup from Jose this game 1.
Yeah.
Done everything he needed to. He went second this game. Let's not forget. And is just, you know, he's really in a dominant position, it looks like.
Yeah, it seems like, if Grant can't get another Vikavolt on the board, he's just going to fold. Right?
Yeah, the things Grant
There's no board
is
state.
He needs Vikavolt plus a Grass Energy so that he can use Nature's Judgment to knock out
He's
this
got the
Rayquaza.
Grass Energy in hand. The question is, what other pieces does he have? It looks like he has a Lele in hand.
Mm.
Is that a Lele and a
Steven's
Vikavolt?
Resolve, I think.
I think he's got a Lele and a Vikavolt.
I think it may have been a Bulu, the other Tapu. See that top deck? It's an Energy Recycler. Puts 4 back in. And this is going to be a big instruct here for Grant. If he can even play his hand down, I'm not positive if he can. This game could be over.
You sure that was a Tapu Koko and not a Vikavolt?
I believe it was a Tapu Bulu and a Vikavolt.
Yeah,
not a Tapu Lele.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Instructs for 1 and
instructs for 1 and scoops.
Yeah. He needed to find a supporter there. He needed something like a Cynthia. Didn't find it, and Grant's a smart player. He knows in order to win 2 games, I'm going to need to go ahead and concede this one. Make sure we have plenty of time.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He was not going to be able to attack that turn without a Vikavolt. So he was done for.
Yeah, and I don't know what Grant can really do differently to change his strategy. I mean, he did everything right as far as like getting multiple Vikavolts in play and things like, or getting multiple Grubbins in play. He just wasn't able to get that second Vikavolt. So I think that was kind of.
I think the challenge he had was he missed finding a second Bulu that turn, so he had to promote the Vikavolt, and then all of a sudden he had no way to. When the Vikavolt got knocked out, he had no way to respond.
Yeah, ideally, I guess there he could have taken the knockout with the Bulu. Then the Bulu gets knocked out. A second Bulu that he didn't find.
Yeah, so if he'd been able to find that second Bulu a turn earlier and get it on the bench, he could have promoted that, and then it would have been strong charging, and he would have been able to repeat the cycle.
Attacking with the Vikavolt was fine. Like he needs to attack with Vikavolt at some point in the matchup.
Right. Just
the turn he attacked with it maybe wasn't it was what he had to do, but it wasn't his best line of play for sure.
Yeah.
So. So we are going to be setting up for this second game now, and Jose wins that first game pretty convincingly.
Yeah.
So moving into this next one,
it's interesting. I think that's what people viewed as the power of Rayquaza. So I think that game played out exactly how it was like the textbook version of that matchup. I mean, you talked early on about how the energy discard makes it challenging to play with the Bulu deck, and people were loving Rayquaza when it was first printed because they were like, this is just like Bulu, except it conserves energy.
Sure.
And, he was able to conserve energy. He was able to incredibly consistently stream Rayquazas.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that's important to note as well is, it's so much easier for Rayquaza to hit that 180 mark than it is for something like 210 on a Zoroark GX. Just that choice band, if Grant was playing a Zoroark deck, Jose might not have gotten that knockout on that other turn.
Right.
So in these mirror matches, it seems like Jose's definitely very comfortable. He knows what he needs to do and executed his strategy perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question. I mean, at some level, you could say Jose drew fantastically there. I mean, I think we both
definitely got
thought
what he needed. Yeah.
The opportunity Grant had was very early, quick attack before there's a lot of energy on the board. But Jose drew everything, right? Gets the quick Vikavolt, is able to find Rayquazas, and Stormy wins perfectly to get enough energy for a turn 2 180 with Rayquaza. That's living the dream.
And we're going to kick things off here in Game 2. Grant gets us started with a Volkner, finds an Ultra Ball as well as the Lightning Energy. Was eyeing up a Nest Ball, opted for the Ultra Ball though. His active Grubbin is relatively safe. He does play 2 copies of Switch, so he can move this Grubbin next turn if he wants to, if he can find the Switch. Do see the Vikavolt in his hand already as well. He does actually have the Switch as well. So what does he get here with this Ultra Ball? Could maybe find another Grubbin. I'm not sure why he would use this to get Grubbin over a Nest Ball. So yeah, he's going to get Lele. Wants to be able to Cynthia next turn. So that's why he goes for Ultra Ball over the Nest Ball. And no Marshadow in Grant's list, similar to Jose, so he doesn't have that option as a shuffle draw ability type thing.
Right.
Oh, and yeah, attached to Lele definitely feels kind of bad for Grant. Not where he wants his energies to be going, especially a Lightning, which you only have 5 of in the deck.
Yeah, and the challenge with these Rayquaza decks is they're going to spread their energy out, so your opportunity to take a big KO with Lele is pretty limited.
All right, so we see Ultra Ball from Jose. Going to discard a Lightning Energy as well as a Guzma. can search out a Tapu Lele with this, and let's see what supporter he wants to eye up. Usually we see Lily on turn 1 of the game. He doesn't play Steven's Resolve like Grant does, so it looks like Lily is going to be his choice. Has an Ultra Ball as well, so he could even play his hand out lower. Lily, just like one of the better supporters in this format, honestly. On the first turn, drawing up to 8 cards is so good.
I'm assuming he's going to Ultra Ball for Rayquaza here, because he already discarded the energy.
He's got a Rayquaza.
He's going to Stormy Winds. Oh, yeah.
So Rayquaza comes down, and he'll be able to Stormy Winds and get the energy back.
Stormy Wind that energy on.
Discarding a Cynthia is a little unfortunate, as well as a Rayquaza, but honestly, putting one Rayquaza in the discard pile isn't that bad, because now your rescue stretchers become outs to Rayquazas. You're going to see 6 cards off the top for Jose. One thing worth noting, I guess, that we hadn't mentioned before, these guys are teammates, so I wonder if they've talked to each other about the different versions of the deck, and, you know, kind of talk to each other about why they prefer one version of the deck over the other. We're going to see a pass over to Grant's side.
So my son played against a Rayquaza deck at Worlds, so Sycamore was still in format, and he was telling me how he won the game, and he said, well, the game 2, I won game 1, game 2, guy Sycamore's Rescue Stretcher, plays down a Rayquaza, Stormy wins, Rayquaza, Latias, Rayquaza.
Oh, gosh.
It was like, and the kid looked at me, and I was like, that's not good.
That is definitely not good. But what is good is that second turn from Grant got the switch off. Cynthia, as well as Rare Candy Vikavolt, finds a Nest Ball, finds a Grass Energy. He can attack with a Bulu this turn and take a knockout if he wants, or attack with a Delmise potentially. I think he is looking through his deck, and his Delmise might be in his prizes. You can hear it kind of, Grant saying, oh man, I think he was looking for the Delmise here.
Yeah.
Attacking with Delmise would be great. He could do 130 knockout. Jose's Delmise. Oh, goodness. So, man, what does he take here in this case? Yeah. So he can take a Bulu. But then if he puts a Bulu in the active spot, it's very likely to get knocked out.
Oh,
no,
he's got the Delmise. He's got the Delmise.
I wonder what he was looking for.
I think he was just really trying to work out the turn-by-turn progression here.
Interesting. Okay, so there's the Delmise. He's going to go ahead and strong charge to it. Has the energy to attach for turn. He can retreat the lightning off of the Tapu Lele and get a knockout with Delmise. I think that was his line of play, but maybe he was looking for something else. So maybe there's something else that's prized that I just didn't know.
So Grant did a nice job, I think, thinking through the turn-by-turn progression last turn. I mean, attaching to the Lele, he knew he was going to switch if the Grubbin survived, but he didn't want to put the Lele up and offer up 2 prizes if Jose just went absolutely crazy.
Worth noting, Grant was looking for the Pseudo-Wudo. He just pulled it out of his prizes as he points to it, which would have limited Jose's options and made it more difficult for Jose to maybe get the energy that he needs in play. Like, Pseudo-Wudo seems pretty solid against the mirror match. You usually need a large pinch. But also looking at Grant's hand, I think he does have Rare Candy Vikavolt, so he can get 2 Vikavolts out next turn. Jose here, debating what to promote. Gonna send up Rayquaza GX. Does top deck a Rare Candy.
Top deck's a Rare Candy.
And I think the Vikavolt is already in his hand.
He's got the Vikavolt in his hand already.
What a top deck. Vikavolt comes out, strong charges online. He's going to be able to just flood his board with energy at this point. It's kind of like a theme with the Pokemon trading card game. You know, there are rules in place, right? Attach 1 energy per turn, play 1 supporter per turn.
Does he try to Guzma the Vikavolt here? Is there a way for him to really, like, make the combo happen? No, he would need to find the switch.
I don't think so, yeah. But yeah, as I was saying, like, it seems like the decks that perform the best in the Pokemon TCG find ways to, like, quote-unquote break the rules of the game, right? Like, Vikavolt lets you attach more than 1 energy per turn, and we've seen things like Malamar be successful. They let you attach multiple energy per turn. And Jose's going to go ahead and Stormy Winds here, finds a Lightning Energy, puts it down on Rayquaza GX. Strong Charge finds 2 more energy.
Yeah, I mean, I know he would love to have a way to... does he try to Guzma here now that he's got a second powered-up Rayquaza?
Yeah.
I mean, he has an Ultra Ball in hand. He could Ultra Ball Lele.
Yeah, that is an option he has available to him.
He doesn't know Grant's going to get another Vikavolt next turn.
And that's
I'm sure he wants to take the energy acceleration off the board.
That is kind of a risk, though, because if you do Guzma the Vikavolt and take it out, and Grant does happen to get another Vikavolt, you just basically wasted a Guzma on just taking one prize.
Yeah.
I like this from Jose. He's going to take 2 prizes with the Guzma, so now he can just set himself up to knock out Bulu Bulu and win the game. We're going to see Volkner here, searches his deck for a Lightning Energy and an item card. Maybe he wants to get a Nest Ball to find a Bulu. Kind of tough. His bench looks a little clogged up. He could still... I don't know. He sent up this Vikavolt. Maybe he's looking to attack with Vikavolt this turn.
I mean, he knows. He's the only person that knows he's got double strong charge available, right?
Looking at his deck, though, I think he may only have 1 Lightning Energy in his deck, so he would need to draw another Grass Energy. The Electro Cannon does only require 1 Lightning.
I guess the Recycler off
So yeah,
the,
he's going to get Recycler.
off the Volkner, so that'll put all those Lightnings back. He'll be able to get there.
Yeah, that'll be just fine. I think he's got a couple down already. I think he Ultra Balled 1 and then retreated 1 off the Lele, so he's puts 2 back, so now he can Strong Charge twice.
Yeah.
To full effect.
The challenge is he's going to need to find another Energy Recycler for when this Vikavolt goes down, he's going to be struggling to find enough Lightning Energy.
So he's setting up the second Vikavolt as well. Yep, looks like he's going to go ahead and commit to that. He does still need a Choice Band. See if he can find it. Don't know if he has it in his hand or not. He does still have availability to use Instruct. He has Sudowoodo, that's pretty good. He can Instruct for 2. Needs a Choice Band. Oh, does not get there. Hitting for 150 with the Vikavolt doesn't feel that good.
Yeah.
It does set you up to use Giga Drain on Delmise, its first attack for 30 to knock it out, but I think that's a big whiff from Grant.
Yeah, he really needed that.
He's got a couple Guzma in his hand for the next turn. He's already used a Volkner this turn. You can see Grant kind of just thinking through how he needs to play out the rest of this game. I think he knows this is going to be tough to win this one.
Yeah. So,
C-150 coming
there.
out.
That Vikavolt's going to get KO'd.
Yeah, we could maybe see Jose try to use a Guzma this turn to get around, having this active Rayquaza knocked out, but that option is now taken away by using a Volkner. Oh, has a switch, though, so that can still get him this Rayquaza out of the active spot. Just going to get a switch, no Lightning Energy.
Yeah. And Grant knows he's got a Guzma in hand. So the problem is Guzma doesn't going to want to get something great off the Instruct.
Right, so Jose uses Volkner, finds that switch. We're going to see that nice golden switch come out, moves the new Rayquaza to the active. Can't bench any other Pokemon because of that Sudowoodo with Roadblock. So it looks like it's just going to be a knockout from Jose. Grant, who's sending up his Vikavolt. His Vikavolt should be really important to him, but he does have the
Guzma, right?
Guzma,
Yeah, his plan is to Guzma the other Rayquaza and Giga Drain it.
Yep. I believe, Giga Drain or Anchor Shot, I think, is the second attack. Can also, either one will work. Doesn't matter which one he wants to announce. Does get another Grubbin, which is good in case Jose was able to Guzma knock out his only Vikavolt, but it would be difficult for Grant to find another one, I think. We're going to see Strong Charge. Maybe start to power up Vikavolt. He is out of Lightning Energy, and the deck, though, can only accelerate 1 energy.
Yeah, we were talking about how he needed to find a Recycler next turn, but he wants to thin his deck so he can have as good an Instruct as he can because he needs to find...
he just needs to draw more cards, honestly.
He just doesn't have good stuff going on.
I think he drew a Grass Energy, so that's actually pretty good. Now he can attack with Electro Cannon next turn. Hasn't even attached this turn, so he can attach this energy.
I think he's thinking about what he wants to power up, right? Goes for the Grubbin.
Okay, so we're going to see Anchor Shot take a knockout on the Rayquaza GX. And now Jose, debating what to send up, taking a look at his hand, seeing what options. Maybe he could go for a Guzma this turn. This Rayquaza is definitely threatening from Jose. Looks like he has the Marshadow in his hand, so that's an option
I think
to
the
him.
challenge Jose has is he says if I send up this Rayquaza and kill something, even if I killed the Vikavolt, if Grant combos into another Vikavolt and finds a Bulu and kills this Rayquaza, how do I respond?
Yeah, and something else that's interesting as well is the fact that Grant has no 2 prize Pokemon on his field. He's gonna, I think, force
these last
Jose.
3 prizes are gonna be the hard way.
Yeah.
Right.
And like, I doubt we'll see a Bulu come into play until Jose is just at 1 prize remaining, when it doesn't even matter at that point.
Right.
There's an Ultra Ball, so he can set up another Rayquaza, which is good for sure. I'm not sure what other cards he has access to this turn. Maybe he is looking to attack with Electro Cannon this turn of his own?
Yeah, I mean, he could also just power up the Vikavolt and find a Choice Band and kill the Rayquaza. He's just not sure he wants to let that Rayquaza
No, absolutely.
be put in harm's way.
I think he's counting just kind of what Grant has gone through. He knows his deck plays less Lightning Energy than normal, so maybe thinking he might not have access to a full effective Strong Charge. He saw that Grant didn't fully utilize it last turn. See a Lele come out. And a Guzma, so no more bench space for Jose. Won't be able to put another Rayquaza down this turn.
Yeah, I think he's going to target down that Vikavolt, right?
Looks like that's what he's going to go for, and I think this is definitely smart.
Yeah, I mean, that's Grant's second Vikavolt. He's really putting pressure on Grant to find pieces.
So we'll see 5 energy go in. Strong Charge will put 2 on the active. The rest go back into the deck still, of course.
I think it's a sign of a strong player. I mean, Grant has completely changed his strategy from Game 1, right? Game 1, he was like, let's trade GXs. I'm going to attack with Bulus. You know, let's really go. I mean, the game was over in like 4 turns. Here, Grant has said, I'm not going to bench any 2 prize attackers beyond that initial Lele.
See that Vikavolt come to the active.
And we're going to turn this into a really grindy game.
Yep. Now Grant is left with a tough decision to make. He is down 2 Vikavolts, so he's going to have a hard time getting this last one into play. He needs to have like the perfect combination of cards, and he doesn't.
He plays no rescue strategy.
Yeah, he has no recovery cards.
He's going to have to find the 3rd Vikavolt if he wants to do this.
He can
The
send up the
Delmise
Delmise.
can't take a knockout.
Yeah,
right?
the most he can do is 130, 160 with a Choice Band. I mean, I guess some interesting math here is.
Now, I think he has a Guzma in hand. Would you try to kill the Grubbin and just play out some cards in your hand and instruct and pray?
He may go for that. That doesn't really set too much up for him, though. Is the thing.
Put them
He's
down
like,
to 2 prizes, and then he says, all I have to do is kill a Rayquaza or a Lele with a Vikavolt that's powered up.
That may be what he's going for, actually. Yeah, it looks like he is going to go ahead and do that. Take the knockout, and then now he can win the game with a Bulu knockout on a Rayquaza, but he does need a Vikavolt to power it up. He needs so many pieces is the thing.
Yeah.
Next turn he'll need like a Bulu plus Rare Candy Vikavolt.
No, I mean if he just finds a Lightning and Strong Charges, he needs the energy.
Well,
recycler.
he still needs the Vikavolt though. Is the thing.
Yeah, he's got a Rare Candy Vikavolt. I mean, but the Vikavolt was true no matter what.
Sure.
So now he's putting himself in a situation where he's just like, if I find a recycler and I get the Vikavolt out and a Choice Band, I can take.
Well,
a
yeah,
knockout.
he'll also need to Guzma those.
So Jose responds by saying, "I'm not going to give you that 2 prize. You're going to have to find Guzma 2.
Yep.
You're going to need a lot of pieces, buddy. Good luck."
So this is going to come down to the wire here. It kind of looks like Jose, I think, is in an advantageous spot, but it is certainly not over. Grant has to draw real well to close this one out, but it can happen. That he has the cards available to him. We'll just have to see how the cards fall for him.
Yeah. I know I spend a lot of time. I spend a lot of time personally talking about how bad I am at Pokemon, but me and Grant made the same decision there to target down the Grubbin.
There you go.
Boom.
Works out. See Volkner here. He's eyeing up Nestball and the Lightning Energy, of course.
I think that Fuller Volkner is fire.
It's a pretty awesome looking card, not gonna lie.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's gonna, I think, probably want to get another Rayquaza down, maybe. Looks like he might just get the Lightning Energy. No trainer card. Okay, interesting.
I know we talked yesterday about how I'm a minimum rarity guy because my kids treat their cards very poorly. But that Fuller Volkner makes you think playing some blinged out cards is a great idea.
Debating where to attach this energy here. He's gonna go ahead and attach to the active so he can power it up twice in a
He's
row.
gonna be able to do back-to-back attacks. And then he
Marshadow.
says, let's just try to keep Grant from hitting the combo next turn.
Putting Grant down to 4. He wanted to disrupt Grant a little bit. I don't think Grant had very much going on in his hand, but Jose doesn't know that. I think it's definitely correct to try to disrupt your opponent whenever they've been sitting on the same hand for a few turns in a row.
What's funny is I don't know exactly what Jose's hand was, so I can't say how much that was about what Jose had versus what Grant had, but I hear you. I mean, it certainly seemed like for Jose, you're thinking Grant's hand is not good, but he's been drawing for a while. And he hasn't seemed to miss tempo yet. Maybe he just has everything he needs and he's chilling.
Grant does find Bulu Ultra Ball.
Yep.
And Jose over on his side is set up to take a knockout. He can strong charge still. I wonder where these 2 energy go. They might just go to the active, honestly. Gonna put 1 on the Lele. He's gonna put 1 on each Lele, just spreading the energy around.
He doesn't want to get stalled out, right?
Sure.
He says this might be a situation where he tries to 2-hit my Pokemon. I'm not going to let him do that.
See Electro Cannon taking the knockout. 1 prize left for Jose Marrerro. Grant sends up the Shining Lugia.
He says, I need Guzma to win. Let's go. We're going to draw everything.
Guzma, Rare Candy, Vikavolt, Choice Band. Like, there's so many cards Grant needs.
So he's gonna Bulu. Does he Ultra Ball for the Lele for the Guzma? He's gonna Ultra Ball. But he can't throw away both the Choice Bands, right? He needs the Choice Band to take a knockout with Vikavolt, so he throws away the Bulu.
He could knock out a Lele or a Rayquaza with the Bulu instead of Choice Band. But I think he's just gonna use the Choice Bands instead here. That's what it looks like, at least.
So he's got the Vikavolt in deck, right?
It does look like it. Oh, I think his second Lele might not be in the deck.
he's like,
He can try to
grabbing the Bulu and then instructing
Oh,
like crazy is a thing.
he does still have one copy of Switch.
I have to instruct into a supporter.
Grant's gonna play this really smart. He knows that a bad hand has been dealt to him. He's gonna do what he can to maximize his odds of drawing what he needs to win this game.
Yeah. So he's gonna hold the Vikavolt and instruct, so that way he needs 1 less piece. Even though he's gonna instruct for 1 fewer card, but he's like, I got a piece. That's good.
While this is a bad situation, Grant has the pieces in his deck. It just depends what he draws. There's
my god!
And a Switch. but he doesn't.
He doesn't have the Guzma. He doesn't have the Guzma.
He can strong charge. It's just all for nothing, though.
Yeah, it's not going to get him there.
I think he might actually even be out of grass energy. Yeah, he only has 1 lightning in the deck. Maybe he can hope that Jose is out of... Yeah, Jose's got the
Guzma.
Guzma, yeah. Oh, wow. So
a 2-0
and Jose